as more presenters come on. But he did a wonderful presentation that kind of moved everyone. So please, I want you to give a huge round of applause for Lawrence Alexander.
Thank you very much. No pressure about moving anyone, but if none of you cry, I'm going to be upset. Yeah. So when I originally did this presentation, we did it on a theme of revolution. And as you can see here, this is just a quick collection of me thinking about what revolution might actually mean. Going from Che Guevara to the cycle of life, and obviously a little bit of Lion King. And this was my particular revolutionary. She's a 3-foot mix of Mal Marx and Margaret Thatcher, who happens to be my daughter. And she is the person who was creating a revolution in my house, but also a revolution in my life. Her revolution, like most revolutions, start in the mind. She was started out what I consider to be a campaign worthy of the CIA in changing the way I think. When people say about winning hearts and minds, what she is doing is rather than winning, she is taking it over and destroying mine. She started, as with all good people, with sleep. Now, I don't know if you know, but a good sleep cycle is 3 hours long. So that's human sleep in 3-hour segments. So when she first started, when she first came into my life, she didn't give me 3 hours. She gave me much less than that. She gave me 2, and then she gave me 3. Now she gives me 6. What I've learned from her in that 6 hours is that 6 hours is what I call there the happy hour. So actually I've learned that I can do lots more things. I can do hundreds of things in just 6 hours sleep. And that was just probably one of the first of the many lessons that she taught me, is that I didn't need to lie in. I could go to bed at midnight, get up at 5:30 in the morning, and still be quite a normal functioning human being. So I started to think, what else is there that she's doing? What else is there that I could possibly learn from her that I might be able to, learn in my own life? Would thinking about unicorns while I eat my cornflakes be something that improved my life? One of the first things that she challenged me on, I suppose, is forks. So we're eating dinner, and that's fine. She's there with her hands elbow deep in her food, and she says, "Do I have to use a fork?" I thought for a little bit. She takes her silence as doubt and says, "Well, my hands are dirty anyway." Fine, absolutely good. And she says, "And it's not too hot for my mouth." She's just absolutely disintegrated both of my arguments for using a fork. So now I just have to let her use her hands whenever she likes, and actually probably use forks more often. The next one was, I don't want to wear my shoes in the car. I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, fine, we're just in a car. I'm a little bit uncomfortable like that. I'm British, it's a bit weird, I want to do that. Next, we're in a shopping centre, she doesn't want to wear her shoes. Next, it's a dry day, she doesn't want to wear her shoes. I'm desperate to prove that she's wrong, that it's dangerous, that there's glass and whether it's horrible. Unfortunately, she's travelled for a long time now, has had no problem not wearing shoes, and I'm starting seriously to realise that I'm not right, she is. The next part comes this, where it's breakfast time, she opens up the fridge. I want to look in the fridge, I want to choose breakfast. Fine, I kind of figure she's freedom, I want to give her independence, that's okay. She chooses lasagna. I think about it for a while. Again, she can see the doubt in my eyes. I'm desperately trying to think of a reason why she can't have lasagna for breakfast. I give it about 10 minutes, we're both having lasagna for breakfast. The great news is that I've had lasagna for breakfast more times than I can imagine now. This slide is about how she told all of the girls at nursery that she loves Daddy's house because he has the best toys. She has what she refers to as special toys. I thought I kept that drawer locked, so I had to go and have a word with what she meant. I asked her to show me in the house where the special toys were, and what she took from that was a balloon that I allowed her to cover in stickers. And what I realised was a really cute moment there, a lovely thing that just basically allowing her to do anything. It didn't have to be the most expensive toy, just a nice one. This is the nicest image of Gray's knees that I could find. But what I've realised is I've seen her fall over at full pelt, and rather than put her hands down to stop herself, she's actually put her elbows down on tarmac to slow herself down. Gets back up straight away. She's stopped herself from falling. She hasn't hit her face, so she's absolutely great. But great lesson for me, absolutely huge, because what I realised was it didn't really make a difference. If she's loving it, she's loving it. And this is something that I think maybe you guys have never seen before. It's a non-spill cup. Now, non-spill cups, you've probably seen kids eating out of beakers or drinking out of beakers all the time. They can knock stuff over, it made me realise that means everything I drink out of is a spill cup. That means every carpet, every laptop that you guys have ruined, you could have prevented by drinking out of technology that people have been using for years, but for some reason, we don't. I think this probably sums it up for me, is that trying to explain to my daughter why I use a spill cup or why I don't do any of those things is impossible. So, really, if you're doing something that you can't explain to a 2-year-old, maybe just don't do it.
Lawrence Alexander, ladies and gentlemen.